Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. I'm beyond excited to have a chance to showcase with you Digital Barbell, Jonathan and Blakely. We've been to their house. You've seen them on video. You've seen us on their video. You've seen us on their podcast, and we randomly run into each other all the time. But completely by chance, we both happened to be in Bentonville, Arkansas at the same time. I was there visiting some friends, and they were there hanging out for a couple weeks. But these two have been living the dream, traveling full-time in their Airstream for the past 6 months, all while running their fitness coaching business and sharing incredible content along the way. And today we're going to dive into the ups and downs of RV life, how they stay fit on the road, and so much more. If you're into health, if you're into fitness, or just love epic Airstream adventures, you must follow them on their social media and their YouTube channel for awesome tips, workouts, travel stories, and everything else. So let's jump right in and hear Jonathan and Blakely have to say about their life. You've been living full-time in your Airstream for 6 months. What's the biggest highlight of your lifestyle so far? And what's been the toughest challenge?
Yeah, as of today's the 6th of August that we're recording this. In 10 days, it'll be 6 months since we moved out of our house. You want to take this one first?
I think the highlight has been just being able to see people. We've been able to connect with so many people, like just running into you twice already since we've been doing this. And I think that has been the highlight for me, is just like getting to see people that live in different places or happen to be in different places than, you know, for the last 6 months we've just been playing at our house most likely.
Yeah.
Before. So. Yeah,
because we'll probably get into this, but we haven't been to a lot of places that we haven't been before during this 6 months. But it's let us have different experiences, personal growth and physical experiences being out in the wild, and like people knowing that we're doing this full time now. Like we've been able to connect with different people, sometimes just online, but people are really interested. Oh, you're doing this full time. I'm interested in doing that, and just start to form relationships with people over the internet too. Biggest challenges?
I think like the time management, what I've realized, you know, like when we moved out, I brought like in our storage right here, we have the same camper as Brad and Blair, but I'm like puzzles and games and things to do in my spare time. And I'm like, there is no spare time. Yeah, I have way less spare time than I did living in a house.
Which is so ironic.
Yeah, it seems weird. And I'm like, realizing everything that you do, you have to like take a trip outside of the house. Like, you know, laundry is now a trip outside of the house. Like, you know, working out, like, you know, taking the dogs for multiple walks during the day, like, you know, getting exercise, all the things. So
that all adds up.
It all adds up to a lot less time in your day.
It makes you realize kind of when you're living in a sticks and bricks house, and especially like the setup that we moved out of, where everything's kind of right there in one property, just how much time you're saving by everything being in one spot. We never anticipated that. And then I would say, in addition to like the whole time thing, biggest challenge is really just like us realizing that we're not experienced travel planners, and the stress that comes along with that. Like that's been a real big challenge for us. Like kind of the, what's the saying, like analysis paralysis kind of thing. That's been a really big challenge for sure.
And you have to navigate not only like where do you want to go, but also weather a lot in this type of lifestyle. You don't want to get into weather situations. And
we might get into this too, but just like the fact that, you know, we're not on vacation. Like one of the motivations we had for doing this was to be able to save some money, and so we can buy our own place similar to what we moved out of, and trying to live this lifestyle, not on vacation, run our business, but also on a budget. Like we have to keep an eye on our finances. I think people forget that finances is a huge part of this traveling lifestyle. Diesel's not cheap. You have more car maintenance when you drive a lot, more things break on your camper. So it's not just a YOLO, spend whatever you want kind of situation.
Yeah, we did multiple budgets before we, you know, launched. We're like, okay. And we thought like, oh, we were going to save like so much money compared to renting that house. And on months that we do like move and travel a lot, we spend way more than when we lived in a house, which blew my mind. That first month we traveled like 3 states, and I was like, oh no, we can't. We went too fast. We can't do that.
Yeah. And it's like somebody like us that prioritizes working out 4 or 5 times a week. You know, we used to have our gym at our house. So now that's, you know, an extra 30-minute commute on each side of the workout, needing to get home immediately and take a shower after touching all the equipment in the gym. Like it turns into a 2-hour thing.
You're working out in public now. You have to navigate the public schedule and like
we can't go at certain times of day because it's too crowded, and like we were spoiled having our own gym. But we do have all of our gym equipment in storage too. So whenever we go back to a regular, more traditional lifestyle, like we still have all that stuff.
I often say, like, I could live in the Airstream for a long while if I had a building with a gym and an office in it. Like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
The Airstream is a great living space.
Yeah.
How do you plan your budget for full-time RV living, and have there been any unexpected cost that caught you off guard?
You know, we realized really quickly that something we hadn't thought about was just the cash flow element of this lifestyle. Because even if you nail your budget, which doesn't ever happen, you're paying for your accommodations, assuming you make reservations really far ahead of time, a lot of times. So if you budgeted, you know, $1,500 a month for RV lodging, you might have to pay for some of next month now. So you actually have to have the cash ahead of time.
For example, if we really want to be in like a really beautiful part of the country in October when leaves are changing, we need to book that now, and that's going to be like an August expense. But if we didn't, and then we're going to have to double down, and like also where we're staying in August is an August expense.
And even if you have the money to do that, it's still a cash flow issue. You need to have the money right then.
Budgeting,
And if you're somebody who likes to track their finances like we do, it becomes a little bit of an accounting nightmare.
Laundry has been the surprising thing that costs more. Laundry and diesel are the two things I think cost way more than we originally budgeted for.
$3 to $7 a load.
It's $5 here at this place. And just like, you know, you want to wash your bedding, you know, we have a queen size. What is it like when you guys with having two beds? But when we go to wash our queen size bedding, I mean, it's really easier for us to go to a laundromat that has the oversized, but it still might be between $20 and $30 just to wash our bedding. And coming out of a house where we could do that for, week, you know, for quote free. I know it wasn't really free, but we do it every week. Not a problem. Like, I mean, who wants to spend $120 a month just washing their bedding? And the fact that we work out a lot means we're getting clothes sweaty every day we're not putting on one outfit in the morning, wearing it all day. No, we're creating multiple sets of dirty clothes per day. So
a lot of sink hand washing to like try to.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So that's been something that's caught us off by surprise.
Yeah.
And we originally set off thinking, okay, we're either going to get a Anytime Fitness or a Planet Fitness membership or both. And that'll be the way that we work out, and we kind of know what that's going to cost. We haven't done either one of those yet, even after 6 months, because we haven't been to a lot of cities where they have one of those options. Some have, but not all of them. And we've kind of found that if we pay for like week passes or day passes at local gyms, we usually enjoy those gyms more. Or we got a YMCA membership.
Pass, and so that like a lot of cities have those, and those have been great to use.
But there have been months that we've been doing this where we've had to do those week passes multiple times and ended up spending way more that month on fitness than we thought we would. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're somebody who's thinking about this lifestyle and you work out a lot. How are you going to keep that up?
And in that month we traveled, I think, a little too fast. We went to Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. We spent like $1,000 on diesel, and I was just blown away. I was like, whoa.
And that's with the Open Roads discount membership. Not at every fill up, but you know, at least half of those times.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're unfamiliar with Open Roads, it's a great way to save money on fuel, particularly if you have a diesel truck. So it's a little card you'll get in the mail once you sign up for the program. There's an app that comes with it, shows you all the locations and the price you'll pay for the fuel. It's a significant discount on the price per gallon, and then you pay a small little fee, transaction fee per each time you use it. But it's a really, really fantastic program, something we've been using for a long time, and you see it on many of other YouTube channels too. But I have an affiliate link down below. You can check it out, and if you choose to sign up, that'd be great. Thanks.
And we had a budget.
And you put DEF on top of that, and you know, diesel additive and air filters and oil changes and fuel filter changes. And you know, I'm glad that we got the diesel. You know, having the engine braking through the mountains has been a game changer for us. But when stuff breaks on these things, it seems like it's an expensive repair. Not that any car is cheap to fix now, but yeah, it adds up.
Yeah, I mean, we do. I keep a pretty detailed budget, so I think, you know, I felt like we had a good idea going into this, and I think like there's been certain categories, like groceries have been less, of course, than living in a house because you just have less space. Eating out has been more. We never ate out before, and now that we're like, you know, when we eat out, we're usually eating out with other people, and so we're just running into more people out in the world, and they're like, "You want to go eat something?" You know, so just more situations like that, which is what I wanted going into this lifestyle of like doing some more activities, gathering with more people.
Sure.
So I'm willing, that's an
Yeah.
expense I'm willing to pay more for doing those outside activities for sure.
And I would say, like, overall, the budgeting that we did, or at least one of the drafts of the 10 that we made, they're pretty close. And the thing that's going to go over the most is the lodging. And that's really something that's in your control.
Yeah.
You just have to adjust your expectations of where you're going to stay, how often you're going to stay for one night versus a week. And just really have the right expectation going into it. Some other friends of ours that we met through YouTube, Chris and Aaron from Irene Iron Fitness, like, they were on our podcast a couple of years ago when this was just an idea to do this thing. And they were nice enough to get on a phone call with us and go over our idea of what a budget might be, and like kind of give us some pointers, like, that's too low, that's too high, what kind of truck are you thinking about getting? So I think that helped.
And give us some categories that we didn't even think about, like
Propane and
things like that.
I would say propane's cheaper than we thought it was going to be, but we're not in the cold months right now. We're running the furnace all the time.
One of the things that I have found very handy and very useful is staying for free as much as possible. Harvest Host, Boondockers Welcome, and I've stayed in a lot of people's driveways. I really do that when Piper and I are traveling alone, is to try to stay in someone's driveway. It's really handy, and I'd love to meet folks, and I really enjoy it very much. But one other thing concerning laundry, you mentioned laundry, was to a T, every single person that I've ever camped in their driveway or stopped by to see them at their house, every single person has asked me, would you like to do laundry? And it doesn't bother me to do it. If I need to do it, I will. But Blair is like, no, she will not do it.
So Blair and Blakely are the same person, is what you're saying.
But then I asked her, I'm like, if the roles were reversed and someone pulled up in our driveway, would you care if they did laundry in our house? She said, no. I said, see, nobody cares. Just do the laundry if you need to do the laundry. And she's even weird about it with her own sisters, like my sister and her sister. She don't want to do laundry at their house either. But I have found no issues with that ever, and I really enjoy the opportunity to do that if the case arises.
I think the thing that's kept us from doing that, well, number one, we weren't Harvest Host members, but second of all, like, we never really had the idea that this was going to be something where we drive like every day. It doesn't really work with keeping up with our business and doing a high level of service for our clients to be spending a lot of time in the truck. So I think the thing I worry about is with the free places. I know there's sometimes you can stay 2 nights, but we're kind of thinking of this more like moving less often kind of thing. But I think it's worth trying to see what it's like.
From a Harvest Host perspective, yes, I agree. You can't stay there for many days on end. Some of them have multiple days options now. You can pay to stay longer and things like that, which is great. And I've used that feature too. But what I really like for the Harvest Host specifically is if you have an 8-hour drive day, for example, you can break that up into 2 4-hour days or 3 days, however you want to work it, but whatever your average drive time is. But if you're going to reserve a campsite for a week at this spot and another week at that spot, but it's an 8-hour or longer trip in between, you do 4 hours one day, Harvest Host for the night, 4 hours the next day, and then you're there for a week. So I like to use Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome on a way to a longer stay somewhere else. It's really handy.
I would say after 6 months, we don't have a process yet. Like that's part of the stress of like, or has been one of the stresses of this lifestyle so far, is we haven't figured out a process yet.
We realized we had way too broad of goals. We said, when we set out, in the first year we're going to go, because we still live in Idaho, we're going to go to Idaho and we're going to go to the East Coast. And I mean, I think that's like saying like, I'm going to go to America. Like, it's like East Coast is way too big of an area. Right. And so like we haven't gone to either.
Yeah. We're just doing circles in the middle.
But we needed more like, I think we needed more like what you got. Like here we have these 6 events over this year or something like that. And here, put those on the map or the calendar and then like figure out the travel between. And I think that's where we went wrong, is we didn't really create those events. We just were like, we'll go to these 2 corners.
Yeah. And it's not too late to fix that.
Yeah.
I think we need to take up running ultra marathons like Blair. So we're like, I'm going to do this race in this state. I have to go. Exactly. Like now I just need to fill in the gaps in between.
Yeah.
One of the other ways we save money is Army Corps of Engineer campgrounds. They are kind of ubiquitous around and pretty great
Yeah, there's a bunch right around here, actually.
The only big issue is they're not close to most things, which is fine. I mean, a little far out, but it works out pretty well in the end. And because they are not really close to things, oftentimes they have a poor cell signal and they're in the trees, so Starlink doesn't work very well.
Yeah, we do run an online business, so that is a factor.
And I think that's been one mistake I thought of, like, because I pictured like the way I used to travel when I would like go on a plane and stay in a city in a hotel and stuff. And I was like, I want to see these cities. I just haven't traveled that much in my life. So I'm like, oh, I want to see Boston and, you know, New York City. And all these are not places where you can easily camp. Even here in Bentonville, we're realizing you can't really camp in the city. You got to kind of stay on the outskirts. And so to me, staying in those core state parks or things like that are even too far removed. I'm like, I didn't want to like just be like camping in the woods. I wanted to be like, I call it like s'more camping. I'm like, I'm not trying to go s'more camping right now. I'm trying to like see the city.
All right. Sitting around a campfire every night. No, we're looking for where your coffee shops are.
Yeah,
That's what we're into.
We're not into s'mores.
What's your process for planning your travel routes and stops? And do you map out long-term plans or just take it week by week?
So like the way our company works is we coach all of our clients online. We're not sitting with them in a Zoom meeting, watching them work out or anything like that. So we do have time flexibility during the day. We have a lot of stuff that has to get done, but it doesn't have to be done at a specific time always.
Yeah, we have a structured week, but not necessarily like a structured,
right. So
every day.
So we can take day trips to do things, and like we can, we put out our podcast on Thursday every week. So as long as we have the recording and the pre-production done and it's uploaded ahead of time, like we can be flexible with when we go and do stuff. And we have days of the week that are busier and days of the week that are not as busy. So we try to plan our drive days on the days where it's less busy, so we're not working from the car as much. So that's how we kind of balance, like still doing our job well versus being able to travel. As far as like the exploration thing, I think we have to just admit that we haven't done a lot of that yet.
We tend to like, even here, or since we booked another week here, I'm like, okay, we got to think of like one or two things to do, because we so easily slip into our comfortable routine. Like we get in a little place, it can even be a city we've never been to, and we're like, okay, I'm going to go do this. This is where I'm going to work out. I'm going to, and
before you know it, the day's over.
Yeah, and the week's over, and we haven't really explored anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of driving to the next city if we're not going to do a little bit of that at least?
Yeah. So we're trying to get better about that.
Yeah.
But so far we're doing a pretty good job of just balancing time management with getting all of our work done and still leaving time to do a little bit of exploration outside of the camper.
What's been the most surprising thing about RV travel that you didn't anticipate before hitting the road?
You go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking of like being in storms.
Oh yeah.
Just like
weather management.
That it's like really unavoidable. I mean, it's gonna, even if it's not like, I mean, you're definitely gonna get out of the way of like a hurricane or things like that. But like just pretty severe storms that's the big.
Yeah. So far, just in these 6 months, like we had to evacuate to the like on-site tornado shelter at a park when a tornado was like literally coming at the RV park. And
sisters, when another tornado, pretty significant warning, we just went ahead and went to her house because we were near her. Like left the Airstream for itself.
Within 2 weeks of setting out from our house, we got hailed on for the second time, so we had even more hail damage than we did originally. So at this point, it's just a feature of our Airstream.
Right.
So yeah, that's a great point. Weather management and just like monitoring. I mean, we're just amazed at how many people don't watch the weather at all. Like, don't these people know in 15 minutes the wind gusts are going to be 40 miles an hour? They're sitting outside with their awnings, sitting out, and they're just having cocktails.
It really shook me, honestly, what happened on July 4th in Texas with the floods there, because aside from the children's camp, most of the people that were affected by that were the people that were camping in trailers along that river. And so it's really like shook me about even doing this, and like make me very aware of where I'm staying. Like he wanted to stay up by the Beaver Lake up here, and I was like, I don't want to stay on any body of water in a place I don't know. Like, and I know the Texas Hill Country. I've lived there, and I had camped in those places, and so it's scary to think like you really have to be think about where you're staying.
Yeah.
I have no affiliation with them, but RVweather.com is pretty great.
Yeah, we get those. Those.
Yeah,
they're very helpful.
They are. Yeah, you can kind of see a path. You're like, okay, this is a clear path right now. Like, I can go this way. Yeah, it's really cool.
And even this week, like, you know, where we go from here, one of the options was to go north through, you know, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, up to Michigan. And then we see that there's all these Canadian wildfires that are blowing smoke from west to east across the entire part. Like, what's the rush to get up there where the air quality is like awful? So if we didn't know, weren't paying attention to the weather,
we've just driven into it.
There's been a lot of wasted fuel to get up there and stay inside the camper.
Yeah.
As full-time coaches for Digital Barbell, how do you manage your coaching responsibilities while constantly on the move? And what's your daily routine like?
So we have the way our company works is like each of us, we have 3 people in the company. Blakely and I own it. We have an employee named Haley. She lives in Pennsylvania, on the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. But we each have our own individual training clients. So, you know, we write their workouts. We coach them through the app. And like I said, they can work out on their own schedule. So our promise to them is just to review all their workouts, make sure they're making progress, make sure their form is right, and provide them with the week's worth of workouts and accountability. So we can do that, like I said, pretty easily.
It kind of sets up our schedule. Like on Mondays, I write the company's workouts for that week for all of the clients, and then the coaches, by the end of the week, like take those workouts and then they like customize them for our custom clients. So we kind of have like these tentpoles of like, by Monday I have to have them written, you know, put in the spreadsheet, put in the like True Coach is what we use for our coaching software, put in True Coach by Tuesday. So then the coaches can like Wednesday through Friday customize them.
Yeah.
So there's like all these like things that have to happen. And then, you know, we have to, you know, record a podcast. We try to do like 1 or 2 YouTube videos, write several emails a week. So we have like things that we do like throughout the day that don't have to be done on a certain like time, but they need to be done within like a day, you know?
Yeah.
So
that really just comes down to just, you know, good time management, like knowing the task that needs to get done and being willing to get up at 6:30 in the morning and do it. You know, it's kind of like fitness. There's really no hack for getting stronger. You have to get in there and lift the weights. So a lot of it comes down to just like the willingness to do what it takes to give our clients the best service we can and try to stick to that schedule. Yeah. And we learned pretty quick that, you know, having one option for internet service wasn't really going to work for us. You know, we have 3 now, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Starlink. And between the 3 of those, we can get, you know, enough service because it's a drag, man. Like if you're in a place and you're only getting, you know, 3 megabyte download speeds and 0.5 megabytes up, like it's going to be hard to upload a 2 gigabyte podcast to YouTube that week. So we just have to think about that when we're picking a place to camp.
We also realize we have a dip in our schedule. Like we have like Thursday is like kind of our slowest day. So we can either use that for like adventuring in the city, or that can be like our travel day that we're driving more. So we also try to kind of plan our trips around that.
But I mean, there has been challenges too. Like one thing we're always trying to do with the company is like make sure we're thinking ahead and innovating and finding ways to reach more people. And usually that happens in time that we create to do that kind of stuff. And like she was saying, with everything just taking longer in this lifestyle, that's been a challenge and something that we're talking now about doing better at.
That's the first 6 months we've realized like the extra stuff we used to have time to do at the house, like the extra projects have like kind of not, they haven't happened honestly in the first 6 months of travel. And that's even when we had that call with our employee this morning. We're like, okay, we're launching a program. We're getting on it. You know, we got to start doing some other things.
Truth.
Yeah.
Creating videos and staying connected with clients is a big part of your work. What tools or strategies do you use to ensure reliable internet and communication on the road?
So like our phones are AT&T, so we can hotspot to those, especially if we're like out in public and there's no good internet option and we're trying to work from a coffee shop or whatever. We use the T-Mobile home internet just like you do as our main source, and then worst come to worst, we've pay the $160 for the month to use the unlimited Starlink.
And even when we lived at the house, we would often go into town or if in different cities to work. We like being in public and coffee shops and things like that. We just feel like we have like better focus. So I think we really like to utilize that. And like, as long as the dogs are happy in here, we can get into town and do that. And we use like Surfshark to make sure we're protected in those situations.
And like on the video production side of things, like we do put our podcast out on YouTube every week also, and then also in audio formats. And then shortly after we bought the Airstream, we started just kind of dabbling with making more Airstream related content for YouTube.
Making Airstream content videos, how's that
Yeah.
How you like the maintenance videos or how to do how-to videos?
Yeah.
I think like, you know, what we consume on YouTube is like more people who do vlog style camping content, but we're not really comfortable just turning on the camera and recording ourselves all day. So what we found that works for us is just to like pick a topic and make a video about it, whether it's like, you told me which Bluetooth dongle to buy for our solar controller. So I bought the dang thing and, and installed it and made a video about it. Or just things that I've learned, like that are better ways to do things, mistakes I've made. Like I've had to fix a lot of things and make a video about how to fix it. Stuff that will live out longer on YouTube than just like a vlog style thing, since we don't really like doing that much anyway.
But I think we have to get more comfortable if we want to pursue this more is to do that, because the guy we were having drinks with the other night, he was like, oh, I want to see the drama. I want to see you crying about where you're, you know.
Yeah.
And I do think that people want to see the real reality of what it's like.
Yeah.
It's just hard in those moments to think to turn on a camera and record what's going on. We did make one like where we recorded an entire drive day all the way from Sedona to Santa Fe. It was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 hours of driving. We basically documented the whole thing. That was kind of...
In the moments, it sounds ridiculous. It feels ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I even recording this?
Yeah.
But then when you put it together, you're like, okay, I see it can become something.
Yeah.
It'd be really great if you had somebody just follow you around and shoot, where it's just, they're just kind of a thing here, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
They just catch all the moments for you.
Yeah.
So you rig up like a GoPro strap on the dog, and then they just follow you around.
I did think when we started having the car trouble, I'm like, immediately I was like, we got to record this. Like the truck.
Yeah, that's true. We did
And
like
so I think we did end up having a good video out of that. With like we always want to like not have it be for nothing. We want it to like help people in some way. And so I was like, people, you know, it's hard to know how to rent a truck big enough to pull a trailer, and like how we figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
And a rental company that'll let you tow a trailer with it.
Yeah,
That's what we found out in that process.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Oh, and like one thing we've shared a lot of videos on is just the process of like how to weigh your setup, because we made the mistake of buying a trailer that was too big for the truck that we owned, and that ended up costing us tens of thousands of dollars to remedy the situation. So we very much documented on YouTube. You want to avoid making the same mistake we did. Here's the numbers that matter. Here's how to find those numbers, and here's likely the truck that's going to solve that problem for you.
I've referenced your dongle video many times, your changing the hits video many times, and all that many times. I send people links to it.
A video I have in mind to make, and it's going to be a beast to make, but I think it'll be really helpful, is what truck or car you need to buy to tow every model of Airstream that's available, and really go into the common GVWRs and cargo capacities of the different levels of trucks and SUVs that are out there. Show each specific Airstream what the tongue weights are, what the GVWRs of those. That video would crush, but can you imagine gathering all the data and putting it all up on the screen for that video?
Like a screenshot.
It's good.
Because I've been asked that question 1,000 times. Like, I want to get a 27-foot International. What tow vehicle do I need? Okay.
Yep.
There's 1,000 other factors we got to talk about here.
So I want to make that video.
Yeah. I mean, you can do, oddly enough, I mean, my trailer as it sits right here, if I have 20% water in the tank, I am at gross vehicle weight rating for this trailer. So I was talking to my buddy Tab the other day, or the other week, I was in Alaska still, but he said, you made a comment in your generator video about upgrading your axles. And I said, yeah, because I'm already at my max on these axles. And we chatted back and forth about that because he's got a classic. So his is rated for 10,000 pounds. And we back and forth. He texted me just yesterday. He said, Brad, you got a minute? I said, yeah. So I called him. He said, guess what my weight is on my trailer? I just weighed it. 10,300 pounds.
It's common. People don't know. No. I'm sure we're right at capacity right now. We haven't weighed in a few months right now, and we've certainly bought some things since then. And we've
also put some stuff in storage, so
right.
We evened it out.
But yeah, I mean, it's a real thing, and like you got to be willing to take a minute to understand how to figure all this stuff out, and then face the reality of, do you want to do something about it if you find out that you are overweight?
And I've had that conversation many times too. It sucks to have to tell somebody, hey, you are way over your payload capacity and you need to do something about it. And they're like, man, I got to go buy another truck. It's sickening. Like, I love that truck, but writing the check for it sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, they're always like, well, it tows pretty fine. I'm like, it tows pretty fine until it doesn't stop. That's the real issue that you're pushing is, when you encounter a sign that says 9% grade and you realize it's going to be 15 to 30 minutes of that 9% grade, how are your brakes going to hold up, you know, being at the limit for that long?
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, when your brake pedal pushes all the way to the ground because you've overheated your brakes and boiled your brake fluid, that's not a good feeling. When you're coming to a stop, the brakes are pressed and the vehicle's still moving.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. How do you carve out a productive workspace in the compact environment? And any tips for others trying to work remotely from an RV?
This has been an extremely challenging part for us because, like, coming from a house and owning an online business, I mean, everybody works at a desk pretty much, but we both have the option to have standing desks when we lived in our regular house. So we actually built a standing desk over by our television. Hey, we have a video about that. Check that out. It's nothing fancy, but it does give us an option to stand when we feel like we need to. And it gives you one more place to set stuff, which is nice, especially when you're unloading groceries.
Yeah.
But Blakely sits here. I sit over there. We don't have the hatch, so I put my back against that wall a lot of times. And this is where we work.
But we purposely bought this model so that we knew that, like, when you back into a campsite, you normally back into your view, and we'll be sitting here at the view versus like sitting at the hitch. And that's really why we bought the kind with the table at the back. So we knew at least going in, we would want like to see, you know, something nice outside while we're working.
But it's been a challenge though, like, because living in a house, you get more steps just doing stuff in your house. When you live in 2,700 square feet, you're going to get more accidental steps during the day than when you're living in 27 linear feet. So we sometimes look down and when we break for lunch or whatever, we're like, oh my gosh, I have 800 steps. And we try to hit 10,000 or more every single day. So we have to really, and that plays like mind tricks with you. You feel like you're behind and like, oh my gosh, this lifestyle is so sedentary.
It does.
You have to fight for it.
I think that's the one thing that has gotten to me is like more sedentary time. Like, not, you know, drive days are one thing, but like sitting and working more, and like if you go outside, you're in public immediately. So it's just like that kind of stuff. You know, it's just like I used to be able to just like go out of the house and walk around and, you know, be kind of in your own private yard and play with the dogs outside. So I think,
if you're not trying to camp in the woods at those s'mores campgrounds, like you said, you step outside, you're in public.
So somewhere right there. Every day.
But if somebody like Brad, who's like a people person, you're like, oh good, I'm in public. Like, come on, let's talk. Let's talk.
Working out, just for example, I have no problem grabbing every bit of my gear and going right here to this mat and doing everything right there. I don't care who walks by and watches. It doesn't bother me at all. Blair, zero. No, won't do it.
You'll do burpees right by somebody's sewer clean out.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it don't bother me at all. Like, I got so used to in the Marine Corps, just you do what you can do, when you can do it, where you can do it, and that's, you got that option, particularly when you're in the field. So
I mean, in this campground, we're literally like 6 feet away from our neighbor's sewer pipe, and we don't know what they're looking out their windows. So we brought our dumbbells, our adjustable dumbbells, into the camper a couple times and did some workouts. Just some lifting and
push-ups in the middle of the kitchen.
So like you said, sometimes you just have to do what you can with what you and what you have, and that's got to be good enough.
In poor weather days, I've done many workouts right there, many of them. I mean, I've had a puddle of sweat up and down.
It's just like it's good as done.
Any tips for others wanting to do work remotely from their home?
Make sure your internet, you have a solution for your internet and a backup plan for your internet. You're going to use more data than you probably realize. Also, if you have a job where you're dealing with large files like we do, you know, you can save some money by doing the cheap Starlink plan, and then you'll realize after watching 2 Netflix shows and sending an email that you're done. You need the unlimited plan. And I would say like a big thing for us is like what Blakely said, like deliberately going outside of the camper to get work done sometimes makes you explore new places. But then like just the change of scenery is good for our mental health also.
It kind of helps you balance that, like, okay, I'm working all day, but I can still go and like visit something in the city. If we just drive to like a coffee shop, we're seeing something new, but we're still productive and everything.
You're noticing a theme with coffee shops? Yes.
I think I said it in your interview with us, but this is my workspace, it's my entertainment space, and it's my eating space. Right here. So if I don't put the computer away, I never leave work.
That's a good point. Yeah. We don't store our computers on the desk when we're done with work. Blakely puts hers over there. I put mine up here.
It's a must.
Yeah.
And I get asked often, do you miss your 30-foot? And I miss the 30-foot specifically for that purpose. Like you had the L-shaped sofa with the separate booth. So my booth seat was where I would eat and work, and I would move the stuff out of the way to eat put it back when I was working. But wanted entertainment, I just got up and went to the next area.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad Apple Watch has the stand-up dummy, alarm I call it. So every 50 minutes past the hour, every hour it says time to stand up, and I'm like, oh yes. So I go, even if it's just walk around the camper outside, I go outside, I get some vitamin D, walk around a little bit, and come back in and continue what I was doing.
That's a great point.
I had to turn that off. I need to turn that back.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We never thought about that.
I did.
But I mean, even if, like I said, it's just a short walk, just get outside, look at the sun, Piper goes out to pee, grab a glass of water or whatever else, just something to break the time.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
too.
If anybody watching this is like the people who modify Airstreams, cabinets and couches and stuff like that, somebody come up with a plan to take the 27-foot rear dinette model here and build a 28-foot style 2-person, only one width booth over there underneath the TV. I think that would be awesome.
I've seen a number of people where that cut right there, they just take that whole cabinet out and they put a bar under those windows and just 2 bar stools.
I thought about that, but with the height of the windows, you still need something to bring it up to standing desk height. Otherwise, it's too low. But I would even settle for like the 30-foot and the 28-foot have, where it's a separate working and dining area, and then this can be a whole different.
A couch.
You could leave this as the couch if you want. Yeah.
I know Doug Ide at Vinny's Place can do that for you, and Ultimate Airstream, Ian and those guys up there can do something like that. But it's another $15,000.
Yeah.
Every time I did want to do something, it's $15,000. I'm out of money already.
Here comes Brad. Let's get that boat. You can get that boat after all. Brad's coming.
Have there been any unique challenges to producing high quality video content while traveling, and how do you overcome that?
I would say for our specific company demo videos, we used to have a dedicated space that was
our gym,
and we were able to make. And given we've been doing this since 2018, and we have our full arsenal of demo videos, thankfully, so it doesn't come up all the time. But that piece, I used to record myself doing if I was going to release a workout program, I would record a separate set of videos just for that, be me showing each little workout, and I enjoyed that because it's kind of continuity within that program. I'm in the same outfit or whatever, and now we just have to rely on the piecemeal of all the things that we have, and so not having a space for that is the biggest challenge.
And what she means by workout demos is when one of our clients sees their workout for the day, not only does it say what to do, but you can watch a video of us demonstrating how to do it on YouTube. They're all hosted on YouTube, and they're linked up to our coaching software. So if we come up with a new exercise we want people to do, it's going to be recorded in a public gym or standing outside of our camper now, which is more challenging.
It's not doing the whole workout. It's here's a dumbbell row, and so it's here's the dumbbell row with the points of performance and everything like that.
And then with our putting our podcasts out every week, it's taken us some time to find a configuration of how to sit in here that we like. We used to stand behind the studio. We used to stand behind a desk with a ring light and that kind of stuff. And now it's there's a laptop here that's connected to Zoom, and the GoPro is hooked to the door over there on a mount, and the light is on the counter over here, and we're both sitting over here. So, it doesn't look as professional, but we've picked up a lot of people seeing our content that are more Airstream related than just fitness related now. So I think they understand the constraints.
They're interested in both fitness and
And isn't this a wonderful sound environment where everything echoes?
I mean, we definitely had to invest in some wireless mics like this just for space savings. And the lighting is challenging too in a space like this that's made of metal and has windows all over
the windows.
Yeah, and sometimes the view out the window isn't the best also.
We used to do this thing where we'd be do our podcast and then rip the window open and be here's where we are. And then it got to be kind of the same thing. There's another trailer right there. So we don't really do that.
The big reveal.
And then right now we close all these windows. I don't like them closed, but it's so bright, so you can't get the right lighting in there to do that. But
you're watching us be silhouettes.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated to maintain consistent work ethic when on the open road and new destinations are calling?
I think it comes down to the same way that we maintain our fitness and our health on the road, is we don't rely on motivation to do those things. It's us giving our clients the best service that we can is the thing that has sustained our business since 2018. So that's just a non-negotiable for no matter where we are. It was the same when we're in the house, and us maintaining our strength and our health for longevity and for just being able to physically enjoy life. That's a non-negotiable for us. So even if it doesn't look optimal or perfect all the time, it's something we're going to get done. There's certain we don't ever close out a day and just leave our clients hanging. That's just a non-negotiable for us.
First priority. And if it means like, we don't do certain things, that's fine with me. This is like, right now, this is our focus.
Yeah, like we pride ourselves on not being a big company where it's like you're just a name on a spreadsheet or whatever. Like we have close relationships with all of our clients, and we feel like we would be letting them down if we prioritize going to Zion over like making sure that they get the service that they're paying us for. So
and honestly, we don't really want our clients to feel like I don't want to feel like we're on vacation. I don't want that to look like that in other people's eyes either. So I want to just have more like boring content of us like in a different campsite doing our workout, doing our work versus like sightseeing, because I don't prioritize that for ourselves, and I don't want our clients to be like, oh, they're just out there like sightseeing the world. They're not like focusing on us. Yeah.
And I would say if somebody's watching this because they like fitness content and they struggle with their health and fitness because they're not motivated, try to switch that mindset over into making it something that you do because you know that it's good for yourself, not because it's something you feel motivated to do. An example we talk about on our podcast a lot is like your spouse doesn't love you because you loved them on the days, or you showed them affection on the days that you were motivated to do so. They love you and they're still with you because you were consistent over the long term and being present in that relationship. And that's exactly how you get in shape, is by putting in a little bit of effort consistently over the long term, not only on the days that you're motivated or not, but like not for these short stretches of time where you are doing a 30-day challenge and you were quote perfect during that time. It's like that's a big focus of our coaching, is helping people break free of that perfectionist challenge mindset where they feel like they got to go like guns blazing, 100% perfection for a short period of time, then they'll get the result and figure out how they're going to keep it, and shift them more to like, no, you're in this for the long game. Like find something that you're willing to do for the rest of your life and be consistent with that. And that's going to be good enough.
It's like the teeth saying, it's like, these are the only teeth you're given. Like you got to care for them. So people are like, I brush my teeth every day.
Imagine if you only brushed your teeth on the days you were motivated to brush them. You wouldn't have many friends after a couple months, probably.
Movement it became part of my life years ago, and it is a daily part of my life. Sometimes it's 20 push-ups, and that's all I got time for that day. But sometimes it's a great workout. Oftentimes it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't think like you and I would have connected the way that we did in a short amount of time if all we had in common was that we liked Airstreams. It's like, we had you on our podcast, really early on, and having met you because we knew we had the shared thing of fitness and health, and like that being like a key staple in our identity.
It's just like I said, it's like brushing your teeth. It's part of my life every day. I just think I know how important it is to move and take care of your body, because I know I feel a lot better when I do. Health and fitness on the road, maintaining health and fitness on the road, particularly in a small space, is definitely no small feat. What essential workout equipment do you carry with you, and how did you decide on what to bring?
We just added to our arsenal.
But did you know we have a YouTube video about everything we carry with us in our truck? We do. We'll link to that. We've added to it. Tell everybody what we carry with us.
So we have the adjustable dumbbells, and then like an ad mat and jump ropes and bands. And that was kind of, we have half of a horse stall mat, because horse stall mats weigh 100 pounds. So we're like, go down to 50. And this is kind of all we need. So that was like the original, and a bench, and a bench that like folds up. So that was the original piece. And then we were just back near our storage. I grabbed a barbell and enough weight to make it like at least 135 pounds. So
we've got a pair of 25s, a pair of 15s, a pair of 5s.
Yeah.
And a 35-pound barbell, because they're a little smaller and fit in the bed of the truck with it closed.
So I think just adding that additional barbell just helped us be able to do just like a little bit more, like not lose that piece, because it's hard, when you're like in these public gyms, sometimes it's even hard to get access to a barbell, or they don't have squat racks or anything like that. So just like.
So about half the time we do work out in commercial gyms when we're a city where we can get a membership, and then about half the time we use our own equipment. But I think like it's something important to point out is like having the equipment in the truck is kind of like having a gym membership. Gyms only stay in business because people get the membership and never go. If everybody showed up, they could never maintain the thing and it would go out of business. So if you're somebody who's like thinking about going full time and your fitness is a priority to you, you can watch our video about what equipment you should bring with you, but you also need to invest in a plan so that you like turn that equipment into some kind of consistent action. And the same thing goes for us. Like yesterday when we worked out together, Blakely opened our app that had her workout for the day in it that she wrote. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of biased. There's stuff she likes to do, but that told us what to do. Like the problem people run into, and especially if they're transitioning out of going to group classes where somebody's telling you exactly what to do to this lifestyle, you're gonna like more often than not feel overwhelmed with anything you could do and want to do nothing maybe, or you're just going to continue to do the things that you enjoy or are already good at. So investing in a plan that you can follow that takes away the guesswork if you want to maintain your health in this lifestyle is key.
I think one of the biggest struggles like I've like started to overcome is like, I mean, we had the most perfect workout situation before we had our own home gym, and like you can't
he worked out there, remember?
Easier than that. And so now I'm like, if the conditions are not perfect to work out like outside of our camper, or we don't have access to a gym, I would like kind of spiral downward and get like really down about it, and like, oh my gosh, like, you know, the next 5 days are like gonna like be horrible. We're not gonna be able to do the things that we need to do, blah blah blah. And so then like I'm like, oh, we can just drive our equipment to a park. Like being able to like pivot really quickly and think outside of the box, like how can I still make this happen? Like you said, if it's raining outside, just bring it in here and do it. You know, being able to have these like things that you can do to pivot. And I think the same thing is true if you just not if you're in a camper, but if you just work out at a gym or a home, like being able to pivot. Like, hey, I had to work late today. Like, let me do 30 minutes in my living room. I think
versus nothing.
Versus nothing. Those are the keys that are going to keep you like moving forward and not just like, oh, this week's over.
Yeah.
All or nothing mentality.
Amen. That's the big one.
I have a kettlebell, 2 dumbbells. These are all adjustable with the sandbag from Hyperwear.
Yeah.
And I have a bar that you can use to deadlift or any kind of bar stuff. I miss having a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really miss having in this environment. And then I do have all the body weight stuff. So
just last week, she's like, how can we rig up a pull-up bar to the hitch on our truck? Like, well, we learned to weld, and we needed to get rid of some payload.
I see people with like, they have like, almost like, it looks like a squat rack stand, but it's just like a stand. Yeah.
We use those in the Marine Corps and recruiting specifically to take them to high schools and things. You know, set it up. You set up a pull-up bar anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's like your weight distribution bars. It's like 15 of those things you got to put together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point. Like we still carry the Blue Ox bars with us in the truck. Like we find 2 branches that are kind of close together. We can put between.
That's real safe.
Well, Dirk might watch this. Maybe he can come up with something.
I hope he does. But I've enjoyed those things. But you're absolutely right on the have a plan.
Yeah.
One thing I did when I worked at a small reserve unit in Louisiana was I set my CrossFit clock out in the foyer. So we all had desk jobs, but we would work for 45 minutes. No phones could be at the desk. 45 minutes, and then my CrossFit clock would beep. Everybody had to get up. So we would go, and for the next 10 minutes, we would do exercise. And it would be, you do 20 squats, you do 20 push-ups, I do 20 pull-ups, and that's all you're going to do. And then we had to walk outside, and then you go do bathroom things, you grab a snack, whatever, and you go back to work.
That's awesome.
And then the next hour, we would all rotate one exercise. And the next hour, rotate another exercise.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have done 8 hours of work plus 8 hours of 20 reps of a thing.
It's good volume.
That's really cool.
So you just do that throughout the day, and then you get your steps in, you get your movement in, and that's in addition to the hour-long workout I put them through every morning.
Yeah.
And it was crazy how just the work productivity went up and their fitness level went up.
And probably some bonding too, because you're doing that physical thing together.
Every day, every hour.
And like, you probably don't get sluggish, you know, like if you sit at a desk for 3 hours, probably, you know, you're just like starting to like,
That's also a couple hours per day that you're also not thinking about snacks. Like
It worked out really well.
I like that.
You kind of hit on this already, but how do you scout or select spaces for your workouts when you're at a new campsite or location, and what makes the space ideal for your needs?
one thing we'll try to do if we have the luxury of picking a spot is look for an end spot to where our porch is not right up against somebody else's camper. Even if it means like the door is going to be facing the afternoon sun or something like that, we'll make that sacrifice for some privacy. Or like if we go to a site that does have people really close to us on either side, maybe we don't have to back in all the way and we can work out behind the camper.
Yeah.
Anything to avoid like being up at the tongue or right next to somebody's dining room window where their windows are tinted and you'll know if they're out there taking pictures of you or whatever. We're not all as as confident as you, Brad, where we just want to be out right next to people.
It's not confidence. It's more of like, it is what it is. I don't care.
Reckless abandon.
Reckless.
Yeah.
Any other things you can think about how we've that's about it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the workout in the park yesterday. That's not something I had considered to do before. I mean, I've worked out at playgrounds and jungle gyms, and some campgrounds have all that stuff. So I've done pull-ups at those little kids' playgrounds quite a bit.
I will say, like, it feels annoying in the moment to have to schlep all that gear out there, like out of the truck and carry the dumbbells and weights. But like, you're never sorry that you did it once it's over, and it's still faster than driving 15 minutes to a gym or whatever.
And I was going to say this earlier. Blair and I are Black Card members, or Blair is the Black Card member at Planet Fitness, which is $25 a month.
Yep.
And she can always bring the guests.
I know, it's a great
Yeah.
deal. It's a crazy deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just like decide you're going to live this lifestyle and only go live in cities that have Planet Fitnesses if that's a priority, especially out west.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare that we're in a town that doesn't have one.
That's great.
So I not only use it when boondocking for showers and things like that, but it's
Yeah.
really handy.
Yeah.
I just wish they had more saunas and cold plunges.
And barbells that are free floating. They're all
Yeah.
machines. Yeah.
Some of them you'll find that's got a really good little hit center in the back that has a lot of the stuff. But I'm more of a fan of kettlebells. I don't do big barbell stuff much anymore. I'm a kettlebell, dumbbell kind of guy, body weight. As fitness coaches, how do you help your clients adapt to their workouts if they have limited space or equipment, drawing from your own experiences on the road? Do you have to do that at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like our custom coaching clients, like all their workout programs are tailored to their whatever equipment they have. Some of them go to commercial gyms. Some of them work out in their basements. We've had clients that have low ceilings in basements, so they have to do like overhead pressing in the seated position. Any like injuries they've had in the past, but I guess like, go ahead. I was gonna say specifically to like things we've learned from this lifestyle is like through communication, knowing what our clients are going to need for different either seasons of life or trips that they're going to go on, so we can write them new workouts or customize their workouts for travel.
Yeah, I was gonna say our clients, I think, have inspired us in a way because we started this company like a lot of it during COVID, and so we were able to see like how clients just were so adaptive to like, okay, like here's my couch, I'm going to stand behind my couch, my kids are over there playing, and I'm going to get my workout done right here in these small spaces. And it was very inspiring to see how many people were willing and able to do that, and like what little, like you said, what little equipment you need to actually get a good workout in.
I do thrusters or overhead press inside that.
It's the only place I can stretch all the way with my hands over my head too. But I think it just comes down to communication and like a willingness to want to adapt.
Yeah.
Like the thing that holds people back the most is that all or nothing mentality. We're like, I'm going to be out of my normal routine. I'm just not going to do anything. I'll get back to it. And then it's hard to get back to it once you take time off because you feel bad and mentally defeated and sluggish. So just knowing our clients being willing to like tell us like what the challenges are, and you know, we just provide them with a way and the accountability to stay on track.
How do you prioritize nutrition and recovery in this kind of space where kitchen and storage are limited?
I think it's a bonus that we do have like what we have in this space. Like it's made like we don't, you know, when we're traveling, we don't stop and like get fast food or pick up something at gas stations or whatever. I think it like honestly takes away the excuses. Like he's pumping the gas, I can come back here and make us each a snack from our own kitchen and bring it back into the truck. So it's really made the nutrition aspect even easier, just carrying everything around with you like this.
Yeah, that's so true. And like she said, like we cooked almost all of our own food when we lived in a regular house. So we just decided early on in this that we're just going to continue doing that. We don't eat different meals than we ate in our home. Like we're not meal preppers where we cook all day on Sunday and load the refrigerator with Tupperware containers. We make staples of protein, carbs, fruits, vegetables, grains, all that kind of stuff. And we have the ingredients ready in the fridge, just like we did when we were at home.
I would say the biggest challenge so far is just the way the fridges work. We're struggling with like things freezing very easily. So like we struggle with like lettuce and like salad bags and like bell peppers and things like that like you have to eat. You almost have to buy it daily.
Any fruit or vegetable that has water in it.
Like freezes really quickly in the refrigerator. So we're just like having to pivot around that, like go to the store more often and buy those type of things versus like kind of stock up for like the next 5 days.
We keep one of those Dometic little fans in the fridge to recirculate air. I think we might need to put a couple more in there and see how that works out.
Our whole fridge freezer was just like caked with this much ice. We just did it, and it's like comes back within like a few days.
What's the thickest you ever let the ice in your fridge get before you defrosted it?
I put, for the freezer specifically, I put plastic cutting board on that back wall so I can just peel it off and it all falls down. So I don't have to wait for it to thaw.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever it gets, it doesn't get that thick.
Okay, we did bad. We were real bad.
Ours was like our freezer was like
It was swallowing the shelves.
I can't think of the name of them right now. I'll put it on the screen, but I have these little discs that are Bluetooth in my phone that I can always see the temperature in there. And I have a alarm. So if it goes below or above whatever temperature I want it to be. And the reason I say that is because you have a setting 1 to 5. And depending on the humidity level, depending on the altitude, depending on the heat outside air temperature, will affect the level that fridge needs to be. So it doesn't always need to be on 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to drop it down to 3.
Yeah.
So that when it's overworking all the time, and if I tell anybody when in an RV fridge specifically, don't put stuff right up against that back wall.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it's too full, there's no way for the air to circulate around. So
And I think
We're learning that.
one of the mistakes we made, I guess it's not a mistake, but what had happened was we were at a campground for a month where we were getting the afternoon sun in a hot month on this wall. So at night, fridge gets nice and cool. And then every day it's struggling and probably defrosting a little bit during the day with the back of the fridge being against that sun. So it was probably just growing a little bit every day for an entire month.
What's a good number for the freezer, temperature wise?
I'd have to look and tell you what it was a Google thing. I said, what should my constant freezer temperature be for the most efficient in an RV fridge?
Okay.
And whatever that was, I set it, 5 above or 5 below. And then when it starts alarming at me, I just adjust it.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like, it's at 9 degrees. And sometimes we're like, it's at -5. What's going on in there?
Right.
You just got, and then depending on if you shut your battery off when you travel, that's another factor. I leave my battery on all the time now. So, yeah. So it's a handy little thing.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, if you've watched us for any time or been around us ever, you know that our health is very important to us. That said, I am thrilled to share that I am now an AG1 customer ambassador, and I've got an incredible deal for you. AG1 Next Gen is our daily go-to, packed with 83 high-quality ingredients like vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and adaptogens to keep our bodies feeling their best. As your ambassador, I'm excited to offer you an exclusive deal that you won't find anywhere else. With your first subscription as a new customer, you'll get a free bottle of D3K2 drops, 10 free AG1 Next Gen travel packs, and a 30-day supply of omega-3 pills. AG1 is super easy to add to your routine, and I know you'll love it as much as I do. Want to try it? Use my customer ambassador link in the description below to grab this deal. Let's take charge of our health together. Favorites and future plans is the topics here, but what have been your top 3 favorite destinations so far in an Airstream or in an RV, and what made those places stand out?
I'd say probably the favorite city and campground combined was in Sedona. I can't remember the name of the campground now.
Rancho Sedona.
Rancho Sedona, yeah. Don't tell anybody. They'll look at it. We got lucky and booked a last-minute reservation there for like 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah,
and
people around us were like, I've been on this waiting list for 2 years. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
I just booked it.
But it's so close to be able to walk to there, and we did a really challenging but awesome hike there when we were there. The city is just so cool.
Yeah,
like we never,
cool.
as we were driving, you
stuff.
drive in like from the south, and you're like, what in the world what planet am I on?
Yeah.
That was a favorite. Like one of our favorite places is down on the Texas coast in Port Aransas. There's a really nice RV resort down there because they have private beach access, all the other amenities. We have, that's a splurge kind of place, but we've been there a few times.
But I like going there in the winter. I mean, it's fun in the summer. We were just there in the summer, and it's fun. It's busy, but I like going in the winter because it's like
humid.
Yeah, but in the winter, it's like nice. You still get to go walk on the beach. You're not necessarily going to go in the water, of course, but it's just like getting that walk every morning, every evening, seeing what creatures have come in from the ocean at night and stuff. It's just really awesome.
Yeah, those are probably my 2 favorite. I don't know if I could pick a third. We like Santa Fe. Like we've been there a couple times. The place that we stay there, we really enjoy. Has a lot of hiking trails right at the RV park.
We also really like a state park in Texas, San Angelo. That's it has an amazing state park where you're just like every space is just like really well laid out, and like you have your like own privacy, and like the wildlife there is just awesome. Like, I
mean, privacy is probably, you have a lot of space between campers is desolate because of I don't know if you've ever been through there or not, but like there's tons of hiking trails there. The sunset views are amazing, and it's $22 a night or whatever. No
hook. I mean, it has water and electric, but it's one of my favorite places to go to.
I mean, I think like I keep a note in my phone of when I see somebody suggest a place, and I just take a screenshot and put it in there. So there's a lot of places that like are kind of on my list of places to eventually go. A lot of them are out in that western area, Utah, Colorado, Arizona. But like, I know there's a lot of places to the east that we haven't been that are amazing too. And a lot of our client base is out east. So it would be cool to get out there and, you know, do a group meetup with a lot of our clients. So, okay, we're gonna need some more. We're gonna need some more clients coming in if we're getting a van.
I know somebody who has a van that can let you use it for some time if you want to. You just got to
Sounds good.
blend around the weather.
Diesel.
It's diesel. I mean gas. It's gas.
All right. Cheaper Phillips.
It's my truck gets better gas mileage than that van does.
Really?
Way better.
Surprising.
It gets like 13 to 16 miles a gallon in the van,
Interesting.
and I get 13 miles a gallon towing with that truck.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's better at 55, but doing 80 or 75 down the highway is a little different. Okay, looking ahead to the next 6 months, do you know where you're planning to travel? I think you kind of hit this early, but where are you most excited about going or exploring?
I'm going to let Blakely answer this one. I mean, picture 6 months ahead based on the first 6 months. Like,
Based on the first 6 months, I would say now I'm on the I'm excited to like continue and to like go a little bit slower, which I didn't really think I wanted to do, but I'm learning that that's the more affordable way and where you can actually get into a useful routine and, you know, still make sure work and stuff is our priority. And not really like have to feel like we have to go far in this first year. Like I'm okay with like going from here to like Tennessee and then like, you know, or wherever, Mississippi. Like we don't really have to like reach each corner of the United States in the first year. I think if you had asked me like literally a week ago, I would have been like, I probably won't make it the full year.
Not that a year is anything special. Like I think we need to release ourselves from that pressure that like we have to make it a year. We don't. Like our stuff's in storage and we can go rent a house anytime that we want.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I think about it like if I'm like in the middle of doing a workout and it gets hard, like I will not let myself quit, you know, because I will know like what I will feel like on the other side of that. Like it's easy in that moment to quit. It'll feel better in the moment, but in the moments after that, you'll feel bad about it. Like, so I kind of have like been self-talking to myself about that. Like, it'll be easier right now. It might feel better to quit and just go rent an apartment somewhere in Texas where we want to live or whatever. But I think like in the weeks after that, I will regret that I just gave up on it so quickly.
I'm trying to just approach it with an open mindset of like being in the moment more, not having any expectations of where we need to go or what the perception of that might look like on social media or to anybody else, which is surprisingly hard to do because you start doing this thing and people kind of already have like ideas of what it's going to look like. Oh, you're going to go see all the national parks, or oh, you're going to be sitting on a beach, or whatever that is. And like it can almost make you feel like you're messing up if you don't do what those people's expectations are. But I'm trying to remember that, like we talked about earlier, our number one priority is to make sure that this whole experience is a blessing for us and for our business, and that our clients don't suffer because of it, that our relationship doesn't suffer because of it, and look at it as a growth opportunity. And I think the only way we can do that is if we like give ourselves grace for those expectations and just really live in the moment and be willing to just, you know, learn from whatever experience comes up from it, which is surprisingly hard because you still have to decide where you're going to go tomorrow. Sure. You know, it's a balancing act for sure.
I think, you know, you mentioned earlier about perception, and you don't want to give off the thing that you're on vacation all the time, and you know, you just mentioned your clients and meeting expectations of social media things. I'm fully retired, so I can do what I want to. Blair works 8 days a month, so we have a lot of time to do what we want to do. So it seems like we're on vacation all the time, but we do work a lot.
Yeah.
And the production of 13 Adventures is a lot of work too. Yeah. But it's self-induced. It's not something I have to go do. So I feel I understand when people can't, you know, they get 10 days a year to go travel or 2 weeks a year to travel. They have to be regimented in the way they plan and budget and all that stuff. That's just my life every day. So I'm just willy-nilly about the way I travel, and I don't plan ahead. And it's nice, but people ask me for advice all the time, and I said I can't give you advice for the way you travel because it's different than the way I travel. Yeah. So everybody has to figure out their own process and their own plans and how they want to do it. It's like there's no perfect RV. Everyone is great for some scenarios, but not great for others.
Yeah.
So finding the one that works best for what you need it for now.
I think in the same vein, what I don't want to happen is to take away the fun of RV travel from us. Like if we are just like stuck and going through the motions of work and just driving but not enjoying the place we are, like I think it'll like when we're done with
We might
full
resent
time,
it.
we might resent it and never want to do this again because we're not on vacation. And if we never let ourselves be on vacation actually, then I think we will resent it a little bit.
And I think like, you know, I'm sure we were influenced by watching people's content like you and like Mark and Trish and the people who are out doing the thing. And like, I'm sure subconsciously we were influenced to make this decision to do this.
Sure.
So I think like we have to be careful to curate the content that we consume, because that stuff can subconsciously make you feel like you're failing or that you're supposed to be doing it a certain way too. And we don't want to like be a stumbling block for somebody else who's thinking about doing this lifestyle too, which I think it's
so easy.
good that we're sharing the reality of it in this video.
The other night when we were with John and his wife at the Bike Rack Brewery, I stepped out to take a call from Blair. She was working in Oklahoma, and I was telling her about you guys, and you had extended your stay here. And her next comment, before I almost even finished, she's like, "I'm glad they're taking their time." And I said, "I agree." She said, because we're planning a West Coast from like San Diego to Vancouver next year up the 101 up the West Coast Highway. She said, we can't be moving every day. And I was like, I don't want to move every day because last year was exhausting, and I never want another year like that again.
Yeah.
Exhausting. We put 25,000 miles on the trailer, and I don't ever want to do a year like that again because I think the longest we stayed anywhere was 2 nights.
Wow.
Maybe 3.
2 nights at our house and then moved on.
But it was that way all from
That's
like
crazy, man.
April through whenever we finished, and it was exhausting, and it's a lot of money and gas, and so it's not easy to travel like that, and it really gets to you. Like I know, just coming from, because I drove out of Alaska all the way down to Wyoming, picking up the trailer and driving to here. I stopped up in Fort Scott, Kansas for 2 nights, and I was like, it's the first time I've stopped in 10 days or longer, really, because we were kind of bouncing around in the van the last week in Alaska. So I'm tired.
We met a couple that was full-time Airstreaming really early into our moving into ours in Fredericksburg, and they asked us what our plans were for the year. And they told us, we said, how long have y'all been in this RV park? And they're like, we've been here 3 months. In my mind, and they'd only been doing this whole thing for like a year so far, maybe even less.
I think it was like 3 years.
3 years? Okay, well, I guess this is a good learning experience then, because my mind was just blown. Like, why would you stay in this place for 3 months when you can go everywhere? And
it was cold months, and they were from a city that it's normally snowing.
And their advice to us was, we told them kind of what our plans were, the whole go west and go east kind of thing, with no like specifics. And they were like, "Wow, that sounds like a lot."
She goes, pick one direction and only go.
Don't do that. That's too much.
You kind of come back to that every time.
I get it. I genuinely get it. I mean, we've been all across the whole country. We've been to 49 states now with the RV, and it's been great. But sometimes it's.
I mean, think about it like this. I think somebody watching a full-timer, or maybe if you're thinking about doing this, you're like, I can't stay in a place for an entire month. I want to keep going. What other time in your life did you have the opportunity to live in 12 different places in one single year? Like, it's still a ton of travel, even if you move only once a month, which seems like a snail's pace.
Yeah.
And you save yourself money that way because you buy a month-long spot, which is typically cheaper than the nightly rates.
Oh my gosh, it's exponentially cheaper, we've learned.
But the hard part, people who haven't traveled a lot, is we're not confident enough to pick, like, I wouldn't have picked Benton, Arkansas as a place I'd stay for a month, but now I would. I would gladly stay here a month. But going in, I would be like, I don't know if I'm going to be happy there for a month. I think that's I get it. Yeah.
So we're waiting on AI to tell us, like, okay, they get into our brain, and it's like,
this city,
you're going to like this place for a month. Go ahead and book the month and stay there.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's really fair. Are there any new goals or projects for Digital Barbell that you're working on, or as you continue your RV journey?
Yeah, we're always trying to think of new ways to serve our existing clients and to attract new clients. Like, like I said, our YouTube channel has grown a lot because of the Airstream related videos that we've made, and people end up following us on Instagram because of that, where we can have more conversations, because you really can't on YouTube. And we've learned that there are people out there that are either, they travel a lot in their Airstream or RV, and they want to stay in shape, or they're considering they want to stay in shape if they do go full time. So we're trying to think like, how can we serve that client? Because we don't have a specific product for those people. I mean, our custom training option will work for anybody, no matter what they're doing. But thinking of like a program or an ongoing workout based program to serve those kind of people.
Yeah, we have a spin-off channel that we just kind of use the name of it now. We don't put content on it, but it's called Camping with Dumbbells. And that was kind of always like that.
Or the dumbbells. It's a pun.
It's a pun. He's the dumbbell. It's always like the plan was to have like content and programs released just for people who like travel, you know.
Because we have probably half a dozen clients right now who found us through Airstream content, which is awesome. We never planned for that to happen. So we'd like to continue leaning into that.
But coming up, I think in the fall, we usually launch at least between 1 and 3 like 8-week programs. And these are either like, we have like options for them to be like uncoached where you can just go through the program, or we also have like coach options where you can get a coach to like look at your form. And then we do plan in mid-September to release a group coaching. This will be the first time we've ever done this, a group coaching nutrition package where you can like kind of get in a group of like, it's only going to be for women, a group of like 10 to 15 women who are kind of, you know, in the same stages of life, going through the same things as you, and like learn how to eat sustainably without being on a diet, without tracking your macros, without using MyFitnessPal. And our coach Haley is going to lead this group of women through this.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. What is one piece of advice you'd give to someone considering full-time RV living, especially if they want to balance with a career?
If they work for somebody else or if they own their own business, maybe 2 different answers for that one. But it probably both comes down to the same thing, having the right expectations. You know, if your view, like ours was, if your view of what full-time life in an Airstream or a camper is mainly based on what you see on YouTube, it's going to be a lot different than what you experience in real life. So hopefully this video helps you, and you can reach out to us if you have any extra questions, but just try to go into it without any expectation that you need to replicate anybody else's life that you've seen, or that your journey needs to go a certain way and you need to try to force yourself to do something because that's the way you're supposed to do it. I mean, pretty much anytime we get in any kind of argument, us like is because we don't have the same expectations. Like, be open with your spouse about your expectations for it if you're thinking about doing it, and if you're going about it solo, you know, have the right expectations for yourself. I didn't really address the work thing. You want to talk about, like, what was the part about you keeping your job in check?
One piece. What's advice you would give to someone who wants to consider full-time RV, especially if they want to balance it with a career or a career like yours?
I think you should probably go into it with the idea that you're not going to travel as much as you might think you would if you truly want to balance your work, if you prioritize your work like
your
we
week
do.
Will probably look very similar to what it did at home. You just might be in a different location.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Your trailer might be in a different location, but you might not.
Come to grips with, like, this is your office now. And it's not just like a traveling vacation pod that you're in all the time.
You might get to go out and explore on the weekend and then come back to work wherever your trailer is during the week.
That's a great point. What about you? What's your answer to that one?
Because I don't have a career, it's kind of a hard. I mean, I don't have I do work a lot, but it's self-induced, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah, but you have set expectations for your. You have YouTube video come out every Sunday, plus other ones. Content
struggle is real. Always. So I tell. I really like your 1 month in a spot. 1 month, 12 different locations. That's a very wonderful line. And I made the video a while back about plant a flag and see all the things within the day's drive of there and move the flag. Same kind of concept. So I think a month is a great goal to stay in a town, but if you don't like it, you want to leave early. And that's a really hard thing. Like, I get here, do I like it? Do I want to pay for a whole month? And, but if it's in somewhere where there's multiple national parks you might be able to see, or multiple state capitals, or professional sports games you want to go to, things like that. If that's all within a 5 to 6 hour day drive from where you are, I think that's a really finding that hub. Like I said, if you get a circle and put it over the map, all right, what's within my little circle here, and that's my day's drive thing. Working, if you find something that you're lucky enough where you can work remotely, I think that's a plus. It's a really big plus. I was going to ask you guys, do you wish you had the flying cloud that has the office space?
Oh, with the
dedicated office in the back?
Are you talking about the 30 foot?
Yeah. It's way too big for 2 people.
I don't, this sounds kind of silly, but I don't think I would trade the finishes of the Flying Cloud to get the Office. Honestly, I like the trim level of the International or the Globetrotter better.
Yeah.
And it looks a little claustrophobic in that Office too.
Especially for if we were trying to put two of us in there.
There's no way two people could work in it. Yeah.
This
I
one
don't regret it.
The one I wished we had was always the Pottery Barn because I wanted the couch. Yeah. But honestly, this has been way more comfortable for like lounging than, and we never put the table down. We always leave it like this, which I thought like we were gonna have to like convert it every night if we wanted to like watch a movie or something. But it's comfortable. Yeah. It's more, and we have two dogs, and they have places to sit that are not on top of us. You know,
most of the time.
Yeah.
Everybody has to write their own journey, and I think I said it to you earlier, but I don't watch many of the YouTube videos unless it's some space I've not been to yet, like going to Mackinac Island. Before we went, I watched every video of KYD and whoever else went to Mackinac just to see, oh, I'd like to go see that, do this, do that. Or if there's an upgrade of something that I have not done before and there's already a video there. But just from a content creation standpoint, I don't want to watch another person's video because it makes me want to create a video like that. So when I create my videos, it's a video that I want to watch.
Yeah.
And because the videos are not my livelihood, I don't care if they get 3 views or 3,000 views. It doesn't matter to me. So that's another factor too. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. So that's been a nice thing too. And I've really enjoyed that. And final question, is there anything else you want the world to know about your experience, Digital Barbell, or life on the road?
I would just say like, and this goes to whether you travel full time or you just travel on the weekend in a camper. You can accomplish anything you want with your health and fitness that you want to make a priority. Like it's so easy to fall into that all or nothing mentality where you think the stars have to align, all the circumstances have to be perfect for you to make progress with your health and fitness. But none of our clients live in this idyllic world where like their dog's not throwing up at 2 a.m. or their kids get sick and don't have to go to soccer or whatever. Like everybody has constraints of their life, and that you're not truly busy, or there's no busy season. It's just your life. So you have to be willing to accept like, this is the way things are for me. I'm willing to do what I can with the time that I have. And that's always enough for people to make progress if they're willing to like accept that fact and just move forward. So whether it's just this is our circumstance. We have to accept it. We have to do what we can with what we have. You know, it's as simple as that. It sounds cheesy, but it's just so true.
And I would say something like kind of like what you were leading into earlier is that I think the biggest argument that we've had since doing this is that I feel like if we pull out of our driveway and we're camping 10 minutes from where we live, we're doing it. We're like living in the camper. It is hard. It's much different than living in a house and you're navigating so many different things. So you don't have to like put this pressure to like, if I'm doing this, then I'm traveling 3 times around the United States in a year. Like if you're 10 minutes from where you started, you're still doing the thing. And so I think we've like kind of had to, I'm like, we're doing it no matter if we're in Wimberley or if we're in, Montana.
And that comes back to expectations.
Yeah. And so like getting on the same page with the other person of like the expectations and being okay with like being slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're taking your time, and I'm excited for us to do the same. I mean, we got some things we have to hit the next few months, but after that, we're wide open to go. And I don't have a plan. We have a generalized plan of where we're going to be, but no specific spots or stuff.
Well, that makes me think of an amazing piece of advice that you gave us in that you guys model, especially as you're slowing down a little bit, is like, don't make the mistake that we did and be just super vague about where you're going to go. Set some future things that you are going to go do that are really specific, and like worry about filling in the gaps between those things. It'll make you feel like you have a purpose and help take away some of that decision fatigue that just leaves you feeling paralyzed of what to do.
Digital Barbell, are you accepting new clients? If so, is that a wide open book, or do you have a limited number of spots you would like to fill, or can fill, I should say, not like to fill?
Yeah, I mean, we want to find that limit, so bring it on. Yeah, we do limit, like we only can handle each a certain number of clients and give them the service that we want, but we are looking for new clients right now. We have
basically 3 levels of coaching. We have like custom coaching, where that is definitely limited. We have 3 coaches in the business, us and our coach Haley, and then we have options where you can get our programming and be coached through it, where it's not customized to you, but you can be like coached through the program, or you can just be uncoached and just get the workout. So you have like basically people have like 3 different levels of touch that they want to get.
Yeah, you can just go to digitalbarbell.com/options to see all those explained. And then we also offer one-on-one nutrition coaching too, where we help somebody look at what their current lifestyle is like, what are they eating right now, what are their goals, help them build sustainable habits with the kind of foods that they're willing to eat for the rest of their life. So it's not a diet, but a lifestyle change.
Don't you have a free month or free workout? I forget what you said you had.
Yeah, at digitalbarbell.com/free, and there's tons of resources on there. Yeah,
probably a dozen different things.
Yeah.
Where can somebody get cool shirts like that?
We do our shirts in limited releases these days. So like if you're following us on any of the social medias, or if you get on our email list, you'll know when we've got a shirt for sale.
We'll kind of come up with a design, and then they're like, you have 2 weeks to order it, and then they're sent out from the maker, and then they'll wait a few months and do another one.
We can no longer carry stock in hats and shirts and those kinds of things. It's got to be drop shipped right to the customer.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so very much for your time. And I look forward to we're getting on some mountain bikes here hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thanks for doing this for us. And thank you for all the help that you've given us over the years with no expectation for anything in return. Like everybody who interacts with you. First of all, we talked about how small world, like half the time somebody reaches out to us on Instagram, they're like, I found you through Brad, and actually I'm going to see Brad next week when he's at our house. I'm like, this world is so small. But all those people know how generous you are with your time, and we really appreciate you and Blair's friendship also.
Likewise. The feeling is mutual, I promise.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
All right. Pat, you ready to go potty? Or are you sleeping?
Jonathan, you ready to go potty?
Yeah.
That was fun.